Well, if we aren't back for a little Bleach Soul Resonance, and in this video I just want to talk about, again, more account update stuff, how I'm doing in the various leaderboards and the like. Again, this is a completely free to play account, so if you see, you know, Shiny or Ikkaku or Rokage or anyone out there and they've got a million points in anything, you got, hey dog, I'm free to play. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best out here, right? For a little bit, one thing we had was with this measly 257,000 score, we were actually top 42 on the leaderboards. Maybe I'll grab the, I did take a picture, but I didn't think it was really that like incredible or anything. It wasn't like, oh my god or whatever. We are top 10% in challenge 1 here. Maybe it was this one, but whether I was or like, you know, top 42, whatever, it's just like, you know, you can see 329,480 is the break into top 100, and I was at 313,840, which was enough during the very early hours of the night to snag this one. Again, I had a picture I was gonna like funnily post like, yeah, free to play top 50 in the world, but you know, it just seems so silly. So yeah, that's where we're at though. You can see though, getting it done, not like I'm like not placing or anything, right? Placing okay, again, completely free to play account. Another one that we're slowly chipping away at, and perhaps an even harder challenge, maybe some of you are seeing this as well, is the Frenzy Feast Weekly. Has been pretty tough. You can see I'm only in the top 47% in this case. As far as Renji goes, I am top 24%. And Byakuya, I am completely unranked, right? I have not done Byakuya at all. The reason that is put simply, my Byakuya team is just not there. He is a slash type, and it's like, what am I really gonna do? I need to get Byakuya raised. I need to get Ichigo raised, I guess. But one of the big hurdles I'm having is just resource funneling. So if we look here, in the unranked tower, I finally got the last bit of the free-to-play stamps out of this area, and that was done today. And the reason I was able to do that was because of Ikkaku, who is now at 24,633. If you did not watch my video from yesterday, and that video is doing really well, and I thank everyone who gave that one a watch. The reason, or the thing I was saying in that video was 25,000 feels like the sweet spot. If you're looking at like Giku and he's got a 60,000 eyes in, and you're like, oh, I'm so far away from that, don't worry about it. Like, don't really pay too much attention to it. As I said yesterday, and as I'm just going to really quickly show again, here is Yoruichi. She is 36,000. I am a completely free-to-play player. 36,000. Through dumb, complete luck. Unluck, if you want to be a pessimist, because I would really like Aizen's core stamp. I would really like Hitsugaya's core stamp. I would really like Komamura's core stamp. But through dumb luck or unluck, I have an awakened 5, stage 5 Raging Thunder on Yoruichi. If I take it off right there, she goes down to 20,000. Right? Lower than my Aizen. The difference being, Aizen has a 25,000. He has a unawakened level 1 right here, or level 5-star right here, and Yoruichi by comparison has a 5 awakened 6-star. That is literally the difference in how big that is, and that is, again, not counting her boundary, of course, and she's only level 70. So, like I said, I would not really worry too much about it. Just try to suss out how your characters are actually performing, because that 25,000 Aizen is hitting for 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million with his Shikai battlefield skill, right? So it's one of those things you need to get out there and actually use your characters and see where they are. You can't completely go by this number, even though it is a sort of good baseline for just generalist things like, oh yeah, crit damage, 52% crit rate, you know. By comparison, Yoruichi has 32% crit rate and 80% crit damage. Maybe crit rate is something I need to continue to invest in a little bit, but also that doesn't count the... I think she does have a crit rate increase somewhere in her skills, or it's like, it's that or just like raw strike damage. Yeah, I guess it is just like she just does like flat increases, but all of this is to say that Yoruichi is just one of those characters who has shown up time and time again for me. but is not quite representative of the power level of my account currently. I do still think that even though she is 11,000 more power than Aizen is substantially stronger. Again, at no awakens, at, you know, no core stamp, all these different things. So yeah, it is going to continue to be a wall, with the biggest wall, of course, for me as a free-to-play just being availability, right? Just being availability. Because what is the difference between being able to do Renji and being able to do Byakuya right here and actually place well? Well, Aizen's over here. You know, he's over here supporting this clue. So, I think now that Ikkaku is at 24,000, going on 25,000, which is, like I said, my stopping point, my general stopping point, because I'm not going to raise his gear to level 30. Or, yeah, I'm not level 30, and I've already got his core stamp at level 30. There's not really much more to do with him. I probably should have sent him just because he is a DPS. And as it goes with most DPS, you do want them to sort of gobble up the bulk of the levels. You can see I gave Tosin it as well because he functions more like Aizen, where he wants to be an on-field character. But you can see he's also at 20,000, even though, you know, again, he's missing his core stamp, though he does have his weapon. So if at any point Yoruichi wants to stop showing up in my core stamp rotation so that I can actually get this character, or this character, or this character, or this character, you know what I mean? Gee. Oh. But yeah. 23,000 over here. That is also because this character has his Awaken 2 in his, so again, providing a lot of different stats. But again, this isn't a rehash of the previous video. This is just to say that Ikkaku is going to be done for now. I am still working on his weapon stamp, and you can see that right over here. This is just completely free to play weapon stamps. I'm not really forcing this in any conceivable way. When I get the stamps, I summon. If I don't get them, then it is what it is. It's just going to stay there. We can sort of see that as I come back here. We can sort of see that I'm definitely in the dulls of the account, though. I'm relaxing. Sorry, this is actually what I wanted to show, which is level 63 has been attained. We are almost at level 64, which is will sooner be level 65. And level 65, I believe, is the final cutoff. I think that is the last bit of content to be expected as far as anything go. Yeah, level 65 here. So that's going to be pretty cool to just get that out of the way finally. I did get all of this done, but I do need to come back in here and hopefully clear it with full completion for Aizen. And who will I work on next? Again, I'm probably skipping Gin just because I shouldn't pull Gin when I did, you know, free to play luck into Ikkaku. And if you aren't on this channel, you don't know why I say that. I love Gin. I do. I think he is the coolest character to me that isn't Kenpachi. But ultimately, I'm free to play. And because I'm free to play, I can't afford to just pull Gin, pull Kenpachi, pull Ukiyoda, pull Grimjaw, pull Soipon, pull... I can't. You know, I can't. It is what it is. There's no way around that, right? And so I need to plot out who I'm actually going to be pulling for. And because Kenpachi is my number one, and we know he's in the data, we know he's coming, I just can't afford to really splurge on Gin, sadly, which means that as far as thrust goes, this is probably the end of my thrust team for now. And I will try to just start increasing the floor of my account. What do I mean by the floor of my account? Well, as we look down here, we have Momo completely unraised, and which is sad because Momo has her level 3 stamp over here, which is a lot, right? So as she continues to get, even though she doesn't have her, you know, her awakenings here, which is sad because when it comes to the SRs, you do want their awakenings to, you know, fall in, but it will help quite a bit if I get this character raised. That way I don't always have to use a character like Kisuke on my spirit teams, on my thrust teams, on my, you know, strike teams. I can sort of phase them out. A character I've been using a lot actually is Nemu, and I'm leading off the team with Nemu. I'm getting her buffs up, then I'm switching to Yoruichi, and I'm bouncing between Yoruichi and what is his name? Komomura, which is working just fine, which means I've completely weaned that team off of actually needing Kisuke and can focus on just, you know, rounding it out with the actual characters that are on Element. and that feels really good. Spirit is just the one I haven't done that with because I have not raised Momo, and I really should. But as far as the next up, I'm just gonna continue to tank the strike or the slash issue. Maybe it'll be Byakuya who gets more of the, you know, resources now that Ikkaku is done. We do have a lot of his stuff, though. Again, we don't have his we do not have his actual stamp, because we only get Yoruichi's, which is, you know, it is what it is. But you can see we have him on nothing gear, right? We just have him on like complete fill-in stuff, so we could just start doing his sooner rather than later. That's just where the account is, though. How are you guys doing as far as your accounts? Have you broken through any walls lately? Me personally, I'm going to be doing some autoing of the unknown index so I can pick up the last bit of these tickets and call that an index for now, right? Might as well call that one done. Yeah, that's what the account is. Thanks for chilling with me. If you did, like, if you liked the video, subscribe to the club. We all gonna make it, and peace.